Bitcoin will hit $173,000, and I'll show you exactly how using this model in a very logical and a very realistic way. Even if you are a pessimist, you'll see how very quickly we get to this number. Before I get to that model, I need to introduce a new concept to some of you. That concept is monetary premium. So monetary premium is basically what the market gives a good that has the ability to perform the functions of money. So like gold has a monetary premium, real estate has a monetary premium, stocks, bonds, all these things have a monetary premium. Bitcoin is the monetary premium vacuum cleaner, okay? The reason I say that is because Bitcoin has superior monetary properties compared to these other assets, sucking up that monetary premium of those assets that were never meant to be used as a monetary good in the first place, okay? So let's take a couple examples of this. So on Twitter over the past week and also on Reddit, you can see here people are literally selling their rental properties and buying Bitcoin with the proceeds. So here's a gentleman at the closing table. He tweeted, "My wife and I sold one of our rentals that we had 65% equity in. We're going to celebrate with a pint of Ben & Jerry's ice cream and plow the rest of the proceeds into Bitcoin." This gentleman actually replied to the other gentleman, said, "Same. I sold a rental property yesterday and bought a few Bitcoin. There's no asset like Bitcoin. Nothing even comes close." This gentleman just said, 12 of my properties have now dematerialized into a more pristine and peaceful store of value. And then this person on Reddit just posted last week, "I sold my only rental property to buy Bitcoin." So this video is not selling you Bitcoin or, teaching you why it's the best thing in the world, right? I have no incentive to do that, okay? What I do want to teach you is that these other assets that we're going to go through and show you, they do have monetary premiums, and if people actually believe in Bitcoin and think it is the monetary premium vacuum cleaner, you'll see how we easily get to that number of $173,000 per Bitcoin. So right now, this model, it's called the Nakamoto Portfolio. If you go to nakamotoportfolio.com, this was created by a trader off Wall Street. He was on Wall Street for about 15 or 20 years. Basically, he created this about 5 or 6 months ago. So right now, his fair value of Bitcoin present day at the time of this recording is $624,000 per Bitcoin. Its current price is right around $68,500, and its current market cap is right around $1.4 trillion. And I'll show you exactly how he gets to this number. So right here, we have all these different asset classes, right? We have stocks, bonds, gold, silver, real estate, cryptocurrencies, not counting Bitcoin, and then also fine art. These have historically been, assets that people they buy, they hold, they grow their wealth with, preserve their purchasing power with, and he basically breaks down in each one of these categories its current market value globally, its monetary premium, and then the estimated probability of capture. What's Bitcoin going to take out of this asset class, right? So if you guys don't believe me, I'll just fly through these real quick, just so we know we're working with realistic numbers. Stocks are right around 109 trillion based on Visual Capitalist. Global bond market is right around 133 trillion, where it is purple right here. Global real estate is valued at right around 400 trillion. This is CoStar. I used to use CoStar when I worked in commercial real estate. Forbes has the entire crypto market at 2.72 trillion. If you take out Bitcoin, just subtract 1.4 from that. Global art is right around $65 billion a year, okay? So all these numbers here are right in the ballpark. You can play around with this yourself, but let's just say you're completely skeptical, right? Let's say, hey, Marco, these people that are selling their rental properties for Bitcoin are crazy. Stocks, bonds, gold, all this stuff. Let's just put all these to zero. So let's put stocks to zero. Let's put bonds to zero. Let's just say Bitcoin has no probability of capturing these things. We'll leave gold at 70% because Bitcoin is just simply better than gold and silver. We'll leave silver at 80%. We'll take real estate to zero. Let's say, hey, there's no chance people are going to sell their real estate for Bitcoin. Cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin is definitely going to capture 80% of these, but let's just, for the sake of argument, put that at zero. And then also fine art, let's put this at zero. So when we put all these things to zero, what do we get? Oh, look at that, $173,686. That's over here in the top left side of your screen. That's basically Bitcoin just capturing the percentages off gold and silver, plus what it's worth today. That's how he gets to that number. This in 20 years from now will be $200,000 per Bitcoin. Actually, that happens in year 6, as you can see from this chart. But I'm actually going to give you a case for why I think it actually has much higher to go than just $173,000. So I'm going to get into my thoughts, and I'll give you a more realistic scenario, in my opinion, But before that, let's get into today's sponsor. Life insurance is my family's financial safety net. A proper life insurance plan is the best defense you and your family can get. If something happens to you, your family can cover expenses while getting back on their feet. My wife and I did just that using Policy Genius. Getting started with Policy Genius is simple. We filled out our information on the website, we talked to their licensed agent, she answered all of our questions, and she got back to us with quotes that made a lot of sense financially and also covered our needs. Policy Genius knows how valuable your time is. Their technology makes it easy to compare life insurance quotes from America's top insurers in just a few clicks to find your lowest price. With Policy Genius, you can find life insurance policies that start at just $292 per year for $1 million of coverage. Some options offer same-day approval and avoid unnecessary medical exams. Their licensed, award-winning agents can help you find the best fit for your needs. They work for you, not the insurance companies. That means that they are not incentivized to recommend one insurer over another, so you can trust their guidance. Policy Genius is for parents, caregivers, and anyone else who has people who depend on them. They simplify the process of getting life insurance so you can protect the people you love. No wonder they have thousands of 5-star reviews on Google and Trustpilot. Your family deserves peace of mind. A life insurance policy through Policy Genius can give it to them. Head to policygenius.com/whiteboardfinance or click the link in the description to get your free life insurance quotes and see how much you could save. Okay, so let's use some numbers that are a little bit more realistic because we can see people are actually trading into Bitcoin coming from these different asset classes. The one thing people have to realize watching this video is that we just had ETF approval, which just opens up the whole Pandora's box of registered investment advisors, traditional financial advisors, family offices, corporations, publicly traded companies, nation states, central banks, sovereign wealth funds, oil money, you name it. People will be trying to capture this scarce asset. So some of these things are going to flow into Bitcoin. So the market cap, remember we said it was 109 trillion. I'm just going to leave these how they are because I already vetted them and they're very close to what all those articles say they are. So I'm just going to act in good faith and pretend this is the case. So what I realistically think is going to happen, let's just pretend you're in a room of 100 people. Let's say 3 to 5% of them say, you know what, I sold my single family home, my rental property, I'm going to put that into Bitcoin because it's a better savings technology, it's a better form of money. Whether you agree or not, let's just use that as the number. So we're going to use 3% for stocks. For bonds, I don't own any bonds. I don't think you should either. Bonds have severely underperformed. If you had a 60-40 portfolio over the last couple of years, you've been absolutely decimated. Now they're starting to go back up because stocks are doing very well, but bonds have underperformed for a while now, and I've been saying that in my videos for years. So let's just say it captures 1% of the global bond market. Gold, in my opinion, so right now this has gold's monetary premium as 60%. I think gold's monetary premium is closer to 80 or 90, but I'll leave it at 60 just to act in good faith and be conservative. And I think it's going to have an 80% chance of capturing most of this 60% monetary premium. Silver actually has more industrial use cases than gold. That's why you can see its monetary premium is much lower. It's at 10% instead of 60. And I do believe that monetary premium will be captured by Bitcoin. Real estate, it's deriving, or actually in this model, we have 50% of real estate's monetary, or 50% of real estate's value is derived from its monetary premium. I do believe that we're going to capture basically 3% of that. Cryptocurrencies, this is definitely going to be an 80-20 in my opinion. I think Bitcoin, it's the apex predator in the space. It's going to capture 80% of these cryptos' monetary premium if they even have any to begin with. And then fine art, they actually have this at 1.7 trillion. I don't think it's that high. Let's just do 0.7 trillion, and then we'll do estimated probability to capture. I'll just put this at 5% because fine art, a lot of it is used for money laundering, tax evasion, things like that. So if we do these ridiculously conservative estimates, look where we're at. We're at $250,000 Bitcoin in today's dollars, okay? If you look at 20 years from now, we're at $645,000 Bitcoin, and I think that this is incredibly conservative, but you can see that we still have at least 4x to go from where the current price is based on this model, $68,500. Okay, so we're basically going from a $1.4 trillion market cap to a $5.4 trillion market cap. Again, it's just simple math putting you at $257,464 Bitcoin. So what does all this mean? So whether you agree with this model or not, this is literally just multiplication. It's just taking realistic market caps of major asset classes around the world and sucking up a little bit of it into Bitcoin, okay? If you look at these incredibly conservative numbers, 3%, 1%, more for gold and silver, obviously, because comparing gold and silver to Bitcoin, it's not even like comparing it to a horse and buggy to a car. It's almost like comparing it to like, I don't know, a stone wheel to a Ferrari. There is no comparison. And you still get $257,000 Bitcoin. So with all this being said, let me know what your thoughts are down below. Again, I'm not price prediction guy. I'm not moon boy. I'm not diamond hands guy. I'm someone who's just been studying money for a very long time, for about 18 years now. And I do think that this is a very realistic probability. When you actually stop and think about what I said earlier in the video, when it goes from early adopters, individuals such as me and you, retail, to publicly traded companies, to nation states, to sovereign wealth funds, to central banks, potentially being the base layer of money in all the world, which I don't know if that's ever going to happen because governments obviously don't want to give up that control. But at the end of the day, a lot of this stuff is being financialized. So a thought experiment for you would be to look at other commodities that have been financialized, look at real estate when REITs came out, look at gold when GLD came out, when that ETF came out, look at what the price of gold did, and then there's just a million other examples. But for the sake of this video, the very base case for me is that if gold's market cap is 14 trillion, that's what it is today at the time of this recording, and Bitcoin is at 1.4 trillion, a logical case is 10x from here. Say that doesn't happen. Say the monetary premium of gold indeed is 60 to 80%, maybe even 90 in my opinion. You're still at $500,000 Bitcoin, and I don't say that lightly. So for the people that don't really understand this yet, you probably already clicked off this video, you unsubscribed from my channel, you gave it a downvote. I would just take the time to learn a little bit more about this brand new asset class and why there's been literally $1.4 trillion of money pumped into it. It's for a reason. So thank you so much for watching. I would also check out my university, Whiteboard Finance University. The link is down in the description below. If you would have joined the university 7 months ago when we started, we talked about Bitcoin, we talked about MicroStrategy, we talked about a lot of different things. So it's just some food for thought. Thank you so much for watching and have a prosperous day. Okay, so do I like yellow shiny rock? Or should I sell it for the hardest form of money ever created? Well, this was a gift, so I'm going to keep this, but I think you guys know the answer to that question by now.